How's it going, my truant people? Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, back on Pokemon Showdown for week 3 of the ABC, that's the Associated Battle Community. This week we're going up against my man Kurt, that is Kurt, formerly known as Point Blank, now just Kurt, I believe is his username. I will try and link his YouTube down below if I remember, which I'm pretty crap at. So Kurt, if you're watching and I didn't link your YouTube, shout at me and I'll link it down below. This was the Season 1 champion. If you guys caught the stream where I streamed the final, you will have seen Kurt's game where he won the ABC. I believe that was actually his first championship win as well, which is awesome. So, super good coach. Super scary draft, which I'm going to go over in a second. We're going up against him. Now, I've got to start this off by saying something. Every week I build with my front office and I mark and we do whatever and we get ready because we're taking this stuff seriously now. And this week was a little bit different, and I made a decision that I know my front office didn't necessarily agree with, but ultimately I have to make decisions like this. They have to rest on me at the end of the day, and I decided to make this decision. I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, Kurt will make playoffs. In our conference, Kurt will 100% make playoffs, and if we want to win this league, which we very much do, or at least we want to make playoffs and do something in playoffs, we will need to beat him at some point. What that means is I do not want to bring out all of my best sets, all of my best Pokemon, all of everything that I had for him. I didn't want to reveal it all now and have nothing left for playoffs because his team, I would say, is semi-predictable. And you'll see why in a second. And only semi. So I didn't want to show my full hand here. I knew that might mean I lose the game. I still wanted to win the game and I still played to win the match. However, I wanted to have fun. I wanted to put on a good show. And I didn't want to reveal my hand. And I know that my front office disagreed. My argument was that he is going to beat the majority of people in this league. No disrespect intended to the rest of our fellow coaches. It's just he is a superb player with an amazing draft. So I think he's going to do very well. I think I can see him going like 8-3, say. He's going to make playoffs and he's going to beat nearly everyone. Therefore, me losing to him, were that to happen, I figured wouldn't be the end of the world because damn near everybody else will. And then if I get him in playoffs, that's the beauty, that's the kind of double-sided coin of a league with playoffs, is you can do this kind of thing, and you can be the lowest seed in playoffs but still win the whole thing, or whatever. So, I don't know, it was a tactical decision here to some extent, that maybe was unnecessary, but I decided to take it. What that meant is that my prep was prepped solo and prepped rushed, very rushed, and you might have already noticed that, because crucially, and this is going to come back, Discolopede says Poison Point, doesn't have a nickname, forgot the nickname because it was a rush, also not shiny, because I was in a rush, and I slapped this set on last minute, because I actually had Electrode in this spot, and my front office told me that I wasn't going to win with Electrode, and I needed to give myself a chance to win, which I agree. I just wanted to use Electrode because we haven't got to use it yet, and I don't think it's very good, and I kind of wanted to test it and see if I wanted to trade it away, but nevertheless, I put the Scolipede on, I didn't change it, so that's why Scolipede doesn't have a nickname, isn't shiny, doesn't have Speed Boost. What it does have is Mega Horn, Poison Jab, Iron Tail, Earthquake, and I should probably tell you his draft for you to understand why we ran that. So his draft is, last week against Captain Celesaur, we kind of discussed how he had a top-heavy draft. Well, that was a semi-top-heavy draft. This is an extremely top-heavy draft. This is the definition of. This draft is Tapu Lele, monster. Aegislash, but no item allowed. Still a monster. Alolan Ninetales, pretty good mon. Kieran Black, monster. Alolan Persian, pretty good mon. Blastoise, pretty good mon. Sork, I have a lot of respect for it, having used it in the LTC. Rotom Fan, pretty good mon. Regular Ordino, it has its place. Quilladin has its place. Mega Camerupt, bottom tier Mega has its place. You can kind of hear there. Tapu Lele, Aegislash, Alolan Ninetales, Kieran Black. Whew. That is one hell of a Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Aegislash, Lele, Kieran Black, and then the additional Ninetales with Aurora Veil. Kieran Black, Tapu Lele, and Aegislash under Aurora Veil. Oh my goodness, that is insane. So his draft is very much, you know, sort of 4 Pokemon that are going to come 90% of games. I'm just going to shut this door because it's open. So I apologise for that. But then he's got things like the Alolan Persian, you know, Parting Shot has its niche. Blastoise. I don't rate Blastoise, if I'm honest, regular Blastoise particularly highly, but it has its place. Sork, you know, it does some stuff. It's a wall breaker. It's decent. Rotom Fan, yeah, okay. Ordino, yeah. Quilladin, Mega Camerupt. It's not the best when you get down there. So, with that in mind, this is the team that I hurriedly put together. Megahorn, going to hit things like the Tapu Lele, like the Quilladin, although Poison Jab also does that. I don't even think Kieran Black particularly wants to take a Megahorn. I don't think Dragon Resist Bug, unless I'm forgetting something. But yeah, Megahorn, Powerful Stab, just very spammable. Poison Jab, Tapu Lele is neutral. The Alolan Ninetales does not want to take a Poison Jab. Alolan Persian doesn't want to take a Megahorn, which can be kind of bulky with its is it Fur Coat ability? Iron Tail obviously just destroys Alolan Ninetales, and also the Kieran Black. Earthquake, kind of spammable against his team, if I remember. I don't think it was for anything specific, was it? Oh, Mega Camerupt. For Mega Camerupt, so I don't get walled by that thing, because otherwise it resists all three of my other moves. So Earthquake's on there for Mega Camerupt. Had this been a Speed Boost set, might have put in some work, might have been interesting, who knows. Enough speed to outspeed... I'm going to go with Alolan Persian. I think hits 110 base speed, so enough speed to outspeed an Alolan Persian. Could have been Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Persian might be 150 and Alolan Ninetales might be 110. Something along those lines anyway. The rest just slapped into attack and HP. Next up we have Facepalm, Shell Smash, Sweeper, just like last week. Liquidation, Cross Chop, Earthquake. Cross Chop over Low Kick this week to hit that Kieran Black. I don't know why I didn't run Low Kick again, because I imagine that probably does more. Or Ordino, probably Ordino. I don't think Low Kick did much to Ordino, so Cross Chop's on there for that as well, I would say. Liquidation, obviously Powerful Stab, and EQ for the Aegislash. That would also be why Scolipede had it, so that it didn't get walled by Aegislash. With the Ground EMZ, in fact, for that Aegislash, I would guess. It has been over a week since this game, so I'm a little bit hazy on this too, as I have been for a while, on a lot of these games. Next up, we have Mega Lopunny, and as I say, if we can get Facepalm or Scolipede if it was Speed Boost, which I didn't realise it wasn't, if we get either of those two in late game to clean up, ideal. That's what we're going for here. Then we have Pamela on Mega Lopunny. Really have to be careful here because he has an Aegislash which wants to King's Shield anyway to drop our attack, so we don't want to be high jump kicking on that thing. So we're running Return, Drain Punch, Fire Punch to hit that... No, not to hit the Aegislash because Drain Punch would do just that because we have Scrappy. Fire Punch to hit the Quilladin. Fire Punch for the Quilladin and Baton Pass to get us out of there. Make sure that we're nice and limber so that we can take some Thunder Waves if anything wants to run T-Wave. Like the Ordino, say, or something, I don't know. Not that Ordino would stay in, but I don't know. With Max Speed, because I didn't want him to have any aggressive creeping. If he decided he could run like a Scarf Lele, say, or Scarf Lele I thought was a pretty likely bring. If he could bring Scarf Lele and try an aggressive creep the Lopunny, I didn't want that. I think that was the reason for Max Speed Lopunny. Pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure. Return, obviously just powerful, spammable against his team. Because it brings in the Aegislash, which doesn't want to take a Fire Punch or a Drain Punch. A Baton Pass, so that I can get momentum. Then we have the Claydol. Now, I kind of wanted to try Dread out this week, Dread the Claydol, because I think it's not a very good Pokemon. I don't think Claydol is very good, and I regret drafting it. Yes, it's bulky, it's kind of bulky, but it doesn't get recovery outside of Pain Split. I don't know. I don't think it's very good, so this was a week where I had nothing to lose and everything to gain, so I wanted to test it and maybe spring a surprise here. So we just have a bulky Max Spadef. We can actually take an Ice Beam from a Kyurem, which is crazy. Although, obviously, he can have 100% Blizzards because he has a Alolan Ninetales with Snow, so that's pretty scary. But it can take an Ice Beam with that much bullet without needing a Yachi. Earth Power, Shadow Ball, and Toxic to try and wear things down. Crucially, against an Aurora Veil team, I feel like Toxic Chit is very, very nice because Aurora Veil makes it hard to wear things down offensively. So passive damage is superb. Rapid Spin so that we could get our rocks up and keep them up whilst rapid spinning away our own hazards. His hazards on our side of the field. Yeah, and that's it really. Next up we have Aquarius. This Scarf Hydreigon actually was a very, very serious bring against this team. I thought it had a great matchup against this team. Modest Hydreigon is awesome whenever you can run it. We were able to just spam Draco, Meteor, Dark Pulse because his Fairy type is also part Psychic type. So he doesn't really have a great Dark resist. So that's why I really felt like Dark Pulse was just so spammable against this team. Alolan Ninetales could come in, yes. But we have Flash Cannon on there if we want to make that read. And Alolan Ninetales doesn't really want to get worn down. And if it does get worn down, that's superb. Because it means it doesn't get the Aurora Veil up, which is really, really important. So potential flinch chances as well when he's trying to get his Aurora Veil up isn't anything to sniff at. But we're just trying to make it take rocks, make it take this, make it take whatever. And yeah, wear it down. So next up we have Nico. And Nico the Empoleon with a Wakamberry again. Going to take a Thunderbolt from the Lele. Otherwise, we wall out Lele pretty well. It could have Focus Blast, but then it runs the risk of missing. I think it gets Thunderbolt. I don't think I'm wrong there. Flash Cannon obviously does a chunk to it. This is actually a max special attack set, Modest. Wanted to just do massive damage to that Lele and to that Ninetales that might try and stay in and freeze dry on me. Well, take this Flash Cannon. Scold, obviously, just to get burns on things like the Kieran Black would be amazing. Flash Cannon also does a chunk to Kieran Black with this Modest max special attack set. Stealth Rock and Defog, just in case I need to defog away hazards if Dread is as bad as I think he is and goes down. So that's the team, guys. And without wasting any more time, we're going to jump into the battle. And here we are in the battle, guys. And you can see he did bring the Kieran Black, the Tapu Lele, the Aegislash, and the Alolan Ninetales. So kind of what we were expecting. Didn't bring the Mega Camerupt, but did bring the Sork and the Blastoise. What else did he not bring that we kind of thought might come? That's pretty much everything. Yeah, maybe Ordino, maybe Quilladin, Rotom Fan, maybe. But this is kind of, he has his big four. His big four, plus a Spinner, plus a Wall Breaker, most likely. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a very interesting team. I think I can beat this team. And I think I beat it with Tapu Lele because he doesn't really have a great Tapu Lele switch in. Drain Punch is going to do a chunk to Kyurem. Return is going to do a chunk to Lele. Drain Punch and Fire Punch are going to do a chunk to Aegislash. Return is going to do a chunk to Alolan Ninetales. Sork isn't going to take a return. Fifth Death Blastoise is probably his best switch in, but he doesn't get good recovery. Don't want to take a Skull, so I don't think want to stay in. But I'm kind of looking at it and thinking, okay, I think Lopunny is our win con against this particular team. So we decided to lead off with Lopunny, and that's going really fast. Let's slow down. And he leads off with Sork, obviously just predicting that. So we immediately switch out into Dread. I think he led Sork because things like Fake Out Lopunny are kind of common leads when you run Mega Lopunny because you want to get your Mega off. Fake Out is free chip, guarantees you get your Mega off. So I think that's why he decided to lead Sork there, which is completely fair enough because it just threatened out the Lopunny instantly. And it gauged whether I had Fake Out or not, likely as well. So that really sucks. But we eat that with Dread. He actually takes that really, really well considering it's a Spadef set, so that's fine. And we can just get our Rocks. I think we have Rocks on this set, or is it just Toxic on this set? No, it's Toxic on this set, isn't it? So we get our Toxic off here, which he goes into Kieran Black, and I'm like, yes! Perfect. Getting this thing on a timer means he can't be a sub-Roost Bulky set very easily. He hasn't brought his Cleric in Ordino, so that's really, really nice. However, he makes a read here, and I have to commend him for this. I get his explanation. I don't fully agree, but this is why he's a better player than me. He Earth Powers into the Claydol, and his argument was, well, you're never going to stay in with a Claydol on a Kieran Black. I agree, he's seen I'm leftover, so he knows I'm not Yachi. So I agree. But I could just let this thing go down equally because I don't have good switch-ins to Kieran Black. And I could think he's going to make the read and go for the Earth Power, and I'm a Levitator. And then he just takes another turn of Toxic. I don't know. I think he's right. I think it's a no drawback play, but it would have just let me get more chip on the Kieran. But it's ballsy as hell anyway, Earth Powering into a Claydol. But he gets it right, and I do go in Empoleon. I don't go into the Hydreigon or anything. So he does massive damage to the Empoleon, and that is going to be a 2-hit KO. And Kieran Black doing what Kieran Black does and says, there are no switch-ins to me outside of Resist Berries, and once they're popped, I'm killing you anyway. So Kieran Black just being a monster, especially in the hands of someone that makes predictions like that plays aggressively like that. Shout out to him for doing that. But what it does give me is it does give me Lopunny. So Lopunny can come in here. The only thing is sucks is I've lost my Rocker and my Defogger. Yes, I have Spin, but it really, really sucks. And we just fire off a Drain Punch. And he goes into the Aegislash. That's fine because I'm just going to Baton Pass out. I don't want to get the King's Shield drop. So I'm just going to get the hell out of there and go out into Hydreigon. And fire off a Dark Pulse. And this is really, really nice because Aegislash just got completely shut down. It came in, took 50%, King shielded, as I baton passed out, and then took 44% and died. So just literally got to do nothing this game whatsoever. He was complaining in the chat about not being allowed an item on his Aegislash. And to you, Kurt, if you're watching, I say, look at your team, man. You do not need any more busted things. Unfortunately, this does give him the Ninetales. As much as I want to be dirty and just play for the flinches here, I do decide to switch out, and he goes immediately for the Aurora Veil, which sucks. He gets a Blizzard off into Dread as we get a Toxic off, but we take that Blizzard nicely. Unfortunately, the hail damage is going to wear us down. And I think at this point, I just sack Dread because it does nothing, and he's able to click Freeze Dry and just take me out in case I went into Barbarical on the Blizzard. And I do decide to go into Barbarical, but I have my Sash intact, which is crucial. So his Freeze Dry isn't going to do that much, isn't going to break my Sash anyway. And we just fire off a Shell Smash, and we get boosted. We get boosted. Now, he has Aurora Veil for one more turn or 4 more turns, and I'm taking a risk here, and I'm hoping that it's not likely. And I just fire off a big Liquidation, and this Blastoise comes in, and we see that he is indeed likely. So we're not doing any damage to this, and I click Cross Chop here, expecting him probably to have the Protect, having seen that he has leftovers. And I think, well, if he clicks Protect, that's another turn of Aurora Veil wasted, so that's fine by me. But if I click Cross Chop and he thinks I'm going to spam Cross Chop, he might get really aggressive. I've seen from that Kieran Black play that he's willing to be aggressive, and he might think, hey, I'm going to go Tapu Lele on this Cross Chop. I don't know why the hell he would if he... I don't think he outruns us with Scarf Lele, but I just wanted to kind of bait it, or maybe bait in the Ninetales again, something like that. It was a no drawback play because I thought he was going to go for Protect anyway, and then we just start spamming Liquidations, try and get the defense drop, which we do get. However, he is able to take us out with Scold, which sucks. But Aurora Veil only has one more turn, which is really, really important. And we can go out into Mega Lopunny, and we can just start clicking moves. But we actually tried to Baton Pass out, trying to make a read, but at the very least, just trying to stall a turn of Aurora Veil. He does just go for the Scold and stay in, but that's fine, because Aurora Veil is now down, and this physically defensive Blastoise, it seems, is in on this Hydreigon, which is a place it does not want to be. And we just go for the Dark Pulse here, because we're going to wear something down. It's really, really important that we do that we wear things down. So we're just going to click Dark Pulse, and we make an aggressive double hit into Scolipede, expecting him to go out into this Alolan Ninetales, and making sure that he doesn't get his Aurora Veil back up. So I'm really, really pleased with that play. That was, in my opinion, a really great play. That double was the first time in this game that I made a play. At 3 Pokemon left, I needed to make a play. I needed to do something, and I was super pleased when that played out. What I was not super pleased about is as this Ninetales fell, the chat goes crazy because there's no speed boost on the Scolipede. And Scolipede wasn't in a position to sweep by any stretch here, but, you know, if he goes Blastoise, we click Z Earthquake, we do a chunk. If he goes Lele, we click Mega Horn or Poison Jab, we do a chunk. If he goes Sork, we click Z Earthquake, we probably kill it unless it's sturdy. Or we click Poison Jab, we do a chunk. If he goes into Kira Black, we click Iron Tail, we do a chunk. So basically, I'm in a really good position for Scolipede to not necessarily sweep from here, but with a little bit more chip, another 5 turns to maybe finish him off. However, without the speed boost, what we discover is that I can't stay in and risk that. He goes for the Rock Slide here, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't do too much. With the burn, it's going to suck. But we're Scarf, so we'll outspeed, and we'll just fire off a big Draco here. Yes, if he goes Lele, that's fine, but Dark Pulse isn't going to do enough. Now, with hindsight, I should have just clicked Flash Cannon there. I just made a really great aggressive double. Why the hell I didn't make the aggressive play again? I don't know. I really don't know there why I just spammed Draco. I think I was on tilt. If I'm honest, I think I was on tilt from the Scolipede not being speed boost. I pretty much just gave up. I was pretty much like, I can't win. But Scarf Hydreigon maybe could have won. Maybe could have won. If I clicked Flash Cannon, because if he wanted to preserve his Sork, his switch-ins were Kieran Black, which doesn't want to take a Flash Cannon, or this thing, which doesn't want to take a Flash Cannon. I say Kieran Black because he might have just wanted to sack it at that point. He won't go back into Blastoise on it because Blastoise is physical defensive, doesn't want to take a Draco. So he's either going to sack the Kieran, sack the Sork, or sack the Lele. So I feel like Flash Cannon would have been fine there. We're seeing that Rock Slide really isn't doing that much. It was doing 27%. So Sork, if it's assuming Scarf or Band, we didn't see Life Orb. don't know if it's Z, but assuming it's Scarf or Bound, we know he's not going to switch up his moves. So that was just a big misplay. After a really great play, a really big misplay. And we bring in this Lele, and we're now in a position where we're like, okay, Lele just gets to pick a kill. And instead, Lele just gets to substitute because he is not Scarf Lele, which I was very much anticipating. So I just have to click return here, break his sub. I know I'm going to die. I know that this Psychic is going to do so much in Psychic terrain, but that's fine. And we can go back out into Aquarius, and we can now click that Scarf Flash Cannon as he goes out into Sork. But we actually go for the U-turn, predicting him to go out into Sork. Sorry, we do that because we think he's going to go out into Sork, and we can hit him with the Z Earthquake, that's why. So we're now just going to fire for Z Earthquake and beat this Sork down. Nope, we're not. It's Scarf Sork, but that's fine. We live. Nope, we flinch. So our Poison Point Scolipede does literally nothing after having been positioned in a really, really nice position to maybe clean up late game. It does absolutely nothing, and Scarf Sork just gets to clean up with Rock Slide. I think I didn't play aggressive enough with Hydreigon at the end. If you're going to bring Scarf Hydreigon, you got to start clicking moves instead of just U-turning all the time. So I'm disappointed with the way I played this game. Is the very short of it. We lose 4-0. I do think had Scolipede had speed boost, this would have been a different game. For the very least, we probably would have outsped. In fact, we would have outsped Scarf Sork here. I could have at least killed that with a Z Earthquake, I'm pretty sure. So at least it would have only been a 3-0. But even more than that, previously, it would have put us in a better position. So just sucks. It just sucks to kind of go down like that, to lose it like that, and to play on tilt like that, because this is my first time playing Kurt. We had to forfeit against him last season because of personal issues. But what I will say is that when we go up against him in playoffs, it will not be as much of a shambles as this. I promise you guys, the Bowland Bovines, if we play the Portage Herdiers in playoffs, I will bring my absolute A game. I will prep so hard. I will mock. I will do everything in my power to give you guys the game that I owe you now, because having said that, hey, I'm just going to build a quick team and not show my hand, to play such a pathetic match is a bitter disappointment, and I definitely want to rectify that. So I hope, for the first time ever, someone is hoping he gets the Season 1 champion in playoffs, because I want to prove to you guys that I can at least run this man close, and I want to show Kurt that, hey, I'm not a crappy battler. I can give you a good game. So that's enough from me. As I said, definitely check this man out. He is in the APA. If you've made it this far, shout out to you as well. But he's in the APA at the minute with people like PokeAim and one of my favourite PokeTubers in Vivid Colour, which is awesome. And who else is in that league? Chimpact, Gypsy King. Like, he's in it with some crazy people right now in the APA. So definitely go check out his channel, because he's pretty awesome. And a very, very good battler as well. And a top guy, actually. But that's enough from me, guys. I'm going to stop rambling on. Thank you so much for loafing around with me. I'll be back next week with week 4. No, week 4? Yes, week 4. Against my man, Dreadful Dragonite, the Clay Doll. We're going up against him next week. So I haven't actually done that battle yet. That battle's in like 2 days. So I don't know if it's a hype one, but I'm feeling pretty hyped. So yeah, definitely look forward to that one. As I said, thank you so much for loafing around with me, guys. And I'll catch you again next time.